Hello and welcome to Meet Us at the Desk, presented by One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. I'm here with the host tonight, Steve Kingsley, the king of co-op. Hey,
Hey
Steve.
guys, thanks for joining.
He's over here. And the guy you love to meet at the table, Bairnt. Say hello, Bairnt, over here.
Hey, it's good to be back, guys. Oh, I'm so excited for our news segment again. I had a blast last time. I'm super pumped for what we got on the table tonight.
Awesome. Well, let's see what we started with. Marvel Champions, huh? I've never heard of that game. What's it all about?
Never seen it.
Steve, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm just helping with the delay, so sorry about that.
Okay, so we got this great game called Marvel Champions. It's got a new big kind of expansion coming out. I know Peter's probably so pumped for it he can't even talk about it. It's going to be unbelievable.
Well,
But
my
it's a big
favorite
one.
part of this expansion is that it isn't even the next expansion, right? So we've got 2 or 3 expansions before it. We still have Wasp to come out. We still have Quicksilver to come out, and we still have the Scarlet Witch to come out. So it's not even the next expansion now, but we're so excited about it. We're talking about something that's not coming out till like October of next year, probably.
It'll be a while for sure, for sure. But honestly, this one is the one I'm most excited about because talking to others, talking about like Caleb Grace, he said that the first campaign was like kind of still intro, like they want people to get into it, and this is like the first campaign that's going to be more complex and more geared towards what we might see in the future, which I'm excited to see.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to see in the future? Ooh,
Lots of cards.
Like, what do we know? What do we know? Spoilers.
So yeah,
Well, of course, we got Groot and Rock. That's going to be awesome. They're the two. They're the ones that come in the box,
that's
right?
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And there were some spoilers that came out. So there is a Facebook page and there's a Discord channel for Marvel Champions as well. And there's some spoilers that are saying Skylord will probably be the first hero after this, and then Gamora as well.
I mean, you got to do it, right? I mean, you can't introduce Groot and Rocket without the rest.
You need Star-Lord, you need Gamora, you need Groot, even Drax. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't see Drax next, but it might have been.
Yeah, I could see where that would be. I think that, but I think his other. So having the ones that are more dynamically different would have been is a way to go. And I think it looks like that's what they're doing.
I mean, the best part about Drax is he's going to run in and get his butt kicked. Like,
Yes, he is.
that is the Drax. Like, 1 damage, but think he does 20.
Yep.
Or maybe it's like a card flip. Like, if you get the right symbol when you flip it, then you do 20 damage, but otherwise you just do 1. Because 90% of the time, he's just going to run in and do nothing. But then, like, when it hits, it'll be amazing.
Well, what they need to do is they need to have the card title be like, this card deals damage to the bad guy, and this card removes threat from the stage. Like, very literal descriptions because nothing goes. He's not good at that figurative speech.
He's very literal. His race is totally literal. That would be awesome.
And he becomes invisible, so they need his invisible side
right.
too, which is just the same as his regular side. It's just.
Moving very,
awesome.
very slowly.
Yes.
I do love how like Groot's deck. I think all of Groot's event cards are called "I am Groot" in some fashion, right?
That's amazing.
Like they have different capitalizations and stuff, so there's some distinctions, but it all says "I am Groot" on it, which is perfect.
That is hilarious. I did not see that. That's awesome.
That's exactly how it has to be.
And we've seen some of the artwork for this already because they released the Ronin pack. It wasn't called that, but it was basically the pack with Ronin. So we've definitely seen some of this artwork already, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I did notice that's a little different from the original campaign is that you're going to be in a ship, and they're going to have a ship as well, which I think is on this page if you scroll down a little bit.
The Milano. Of course, gotta have the Milano.
Yeah, so we got our ship, and then the enemies are going to have a ship too, which is kind of cool because there were actually some fan-made expansions that put environments in there that didn't go away. And we have seen this with Ultron, right? Right out of the base box. There was Ultron's drones, which kind of described what happens when you have a face down card in front of you. But this is going to be, they haven't really gone back to that well too much. And so this will be cool because this will be the first time they've done that. A lot of the fan-made expansions to increase difficulty for the game were exactly this. They just added an environment card that just did something every round as you go in. So it's pretty cool that they're adding that to the, to how this game's played.
So I'm particularly excited about that because I'm a big Lord of the Rings LCG player, and one of the cycles was a sailing cycle. So you actually managed a boat, and everyone had their own ship to go sailing. You had naval battles basically out there, which was pretty crazy. I never thought they would add that to that game. But it was so fun to have your ship and try to how does the ship combo with this team? How can we use this to our advantage? And having this, I don't know, sense of big battles with ships, I just loved it. It was awesome. So I'm hoping this does something similar, and it sounds like you can, because like you said, you can upgrade it and add new abilities to it that actually affect the game state.
Yes. Yeah, so you're going to get credits after each mission that you'll be able to use to buy cards for the future. So unlike the original campaign where it's okay, you get one of these at random after the first one, you're going to get money similar to Arkham LCG where you're going to be able to spend those credits. So you see unit cost there, unit cost 5, unit cost 6. You're going to get those units. Each person's going to get them, I believe. Maybe it's as a team, I'm not really sure, but to spend and buy upgrades.
And I think that's a really cool way to do it. I'm excited for that whole system. I think that's a really great way to do this. It kind of incorporates other LCGs they've kind of done in the past, like you're saying, Arkham. And I think it really gives the players more of a reason to keep on going and a reason to get through this campaign. That's one of my main things I'm super excited about. I was a little disappointed in the fact that there wasn't a lot of that in Red Skull. It was just kind of 3 almost separate things with maybe throwing a card in here or there based on how you did. And I was really hoping for more, and I'm excited that this actually has that much more. Now, who are the main villains in this? We know, is one of them the Collector?
It is the Collector.
Or is he just going to be...
He is. Collector is going to be the second one.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to face the Collector with Iron Man because I bet he's going to take away your upgrades. And so they'll just start taking all Iron Man's gear.
Yeah.
So that won't be good.
So he he removes things from play and adds them to his collection. That's how he kind of wins the game. And it's heavily implied that if you play campaign mode with him, some of those things removed from the game may not come back in the rest of the campaign. It might be part of his collection permanently.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no! Can you imagine losing one of Black Panther's upgrades or one of Iron Man's upgrades? That would be terrible.
Yeah. So I'm really curious. But you do face him multiple times, I think. So I'm curious how that works. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. So hold on. I got breaking news though. Scroll back up to the Milano again.
Breaking news.
So here's something I noticed with this. On the Milano, it's not an action. It says resource. Exhaust the Milano. Now, that's something interesting. I think Fantasy Flight may have done an error here. And hopefully they're listening to this before they put this thing to print. But I think that should be an action.
No, it can't be an action because it's not required an action. You don't need an action window to use it, right? You can use...
Well, no, but you can do an action on any player's turn.
You can, but you don't need an action window to generate that resource, right? You can use this resource.
Oh, so they're saying you could even do it on the enemy's turn. So I guess this would be a new way of doing things. I've never seen that before. So if you wanted to remove an enemy's upgrade, I guess you could use the resource for that as well.
Potentially, but if you look at I think it's the double resource cards in the core set, those are resource effects, not action effects. So this is aligning to their nomenclature in that regard. But yeah, you guys, to talk about how expensive
you can only play
this is
those
getting.
Double resource cards on your own turn.
Correct, because it's an event card. But it's not an action to do it. It's part of playing an action. So it's a weird nuance.
I bet there's questions about that because again, if they just said action, you could do an action on any player's turn. This resource, they've never said you could do anything else. Literally, it's only actions that can be done on other players' turns. So they're gonna have to errata this already. I think right from the beginning, if I'm not incorrect here.
No, but I mean that's how it's supposed to work.
A little geeky.
Yeah, the thing is it's trying to avoid having multiple actions happening at the same time, right? You have to resolve your action before doing something else. So that's why it's called a resource, because it supplements an existing action you're trying to do. If that makes sense.
All right.
Don't worry. I'm sure they have all this explained in the rules for it when it comes
Exactly.
out. Everything's going to be perfect.
I'm just saying.
There's going to be
I'm just
nothing
trying
they're
to
going to have to
I'm
rat
blowing it up before it even gets out. Like, forget it. Forget it. Don't buy it until they fix the Moano. Wait for second edition.
Second edition, the second printing.
Forget it.
But yeah, we got all these people like Varega and Nick and Arita talking about like these LCGs. And Arita's never gotten into LCGs, but man, these things are expensive. They are. Like,
they're very expensive.
I mean,
sure.
we collectively all love the 3 cooperative LCGs, and if you were to like keep up with all 3 of them, it would break your bank. Honestly, they're very expensive.
Wait a minute. Did you just say we all 3 love all these LCGs?
Collectively, we do. I mean, some of us have better taste than others.
Like one dude, like because I'll be honest, Marvel is the only one I've really kept up with. Lord of the Rings, I've tried and tried again, haven't ever like fallen in love with, and even Arkham, I loved one cycle of Arkham, which was the Man in Yellow or whatever that is. That was like an amazing experience for me, but I've played other ones and they haven't caught me the same way that Marvel has for whatever reason.
So then I'm going to go
Marvel
on
is
a limb here and say I bet every one of us likes a different LCG. I'm a huge Arkham fan. You're the Marvel fan, Peter, and I'm sure, and of course, Steve is Lord of the Rings, hands down. So it's really cool. We actually have all 3 of us that their main one is something a little bit
Yeah,
different.
totally.
All right, so next time meet us at the news desk. 3-way rumble, LCG style, baby.
Oh, great. I've got to hold up my own against Arkham. I may need to get somebody else in here with me, but I don't think I have anybody else on my side.
No. Mike is definitely on
Oh,
your side.
that's right.
That's
Mike.
one of
Mike's
the
on my
top
side.
games of all time.
Totally. Oh, rumble.
But man, no, I'm
That's
so
right.
excited for this expansion with the whole ship thing. It's gonna be awesome. Now,
Hold on. I got the chair here. I'm gonna smack somebody with the chair.
Watch out! I'm going to come down the elbow off the top rope then
Elbow
too.
off the top rope.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's right.
Oh, you guys are too much.
Alrighty. Well, so wait a minute. This is news? This is what we're doing in news here?
no, this is
So
just
what
chatting.
brought us-
This is just chatting.
So what brought us to this though? I mean, it's the death of another LCG, right? Is that really the news here?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing.
We're doing a memorial service right now for a certain LCG.
Yeah, so
All right, can I ban someone from the chat? I need to ban Nick. Let's start talking about a good game now. No, we need to ban Nick. Hold on, let me see if I can. I'm gonna kick him from the chat. All right.
So, Steve, what do you got for Lord of the Rings? It's kindly coming to an end.
is.
I'm sure you've got everything this game has ever come out with.
almost.
What do you feel?
I don't have the Nightmare decks because I've not been interested in them, to be honest. But the game's hard enough as it is.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, they've been doing cycles for, oh my gosh, like 8 years now. The game's been going on, maybe 9. I've lost track. Nice, Brigham. On me, you'll do the dirty work. Yes, thanks.
You get rid of the riffraff.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's been going on for a long time. And how it's worked is each cycle has focused on a different area of Middle-earth. And up until this last cycle, they've really covered the area, right? It's kind of like a really good stopping point, and it's been going for so long, and it still sells well, but it's just hard to maintain it. And plus, Caleb has been the main designer for Lord of the Rings LCG of recent times, and he's been pulled onto Marvel lately. And I can't imagine trying to do 2 LCGs at the same time is gotta be really difficult. So between that, a good stopping point, and this, it was communicated that they're going to stop doing the cycle releases, and they're going to take a break, but they're going to come back later. I'm not sure about the come back later part, honestly. I'm not holding my breath on it. I think that it is ending.
Well, I mean that brings us to the third piece of news, which we can kind of we won't necessarily tie into this right now, but something we might get to later. I mean, Fantasy Flight's going through a lot of changes right now. They just got rid of their entire division and moved it. Yes, it's within Asmodee, but like they fired like that whole division except for one dude apparently. Like that entire division is gone. So everybody brought out X-Wing and brought out not
Armada?
Imperial Assault, Legions,
Was
and
Armada part of that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those people are all gone now. And so Asmodee's cleaning some house. They're doing some stuff. So, I mean, who knows what they're going to do next? Like, if they can get rid of that entire team who created X-Wing, which is, I think, the number 2 or 3 miniatures game of all time behind Warhammer. I mean, who knows what they'll do?
I was kind of surprised to hear about that just because of how big those games are. It did kind of, I mean, I guess I wasn't following too much, but then when I read into it, I was like, oh my gosh, they're really losing all of that. I mean, Legion's kind of a newer system too. I've got some of it, and it's not a bad
so
game.
Good, by the way.
Yeah, I like that game.
It might be my favorite miniatures game that's out there right now. And I didn't want to jump to this. Sorry, we kind of jumped over the Lord of the Rings info. I definitely want to go back to that. But I think this is all tied together, right? Like Asmodee's Asmodee's a different company. Asmodee's doing something here. They're like reorganizing, restructuring. I don't know if it was this crazy 2020 year or what, but like there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people have left Fantasy Flight at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as long as they don't shut my store down here in Roseville, I'm super excited to keep going. Nice place to play. They got a good food over there.
Okay, I gotta do a shout out because if you've not been to the event center, Fantasy Flight Event Center, you have to go sometime. It is an awesome place to game. Like super clean, well lit. They got the food's great, and they got a free library. Just sit down there, play games, and a store there too. It's awesome. Yeah. Oh no!
It's.
Kim joined. And she just saw some of the how much money's been spent on Lord of the Rings.
Well, guys, it's nice knowing you.
So anybody who doesn't know, Timoth 110 is Steve's wife, and was
before. Yes,
was
as of this time.
Too bad the chat didn't go fast enough to get rid of that before she got on.
Oh wait, I should delete messages quick. So
delete.
Now, Steve, what's some of the last stuff that came up for Lord of the Rings? Was it those, what do you call them? I forget what they're called. No, it wasn't adventures. It was contracts or something, right?
Oh, yeah. Contracts are amazing for the game. And so what they are, it's just a single card, really. Or normally it's double-sided, but basically it has a list of restrictions for building your deck and or setting up some way, the game state. And if you achieve these restrictions, you get a reward. So it's kind of a lose something to gain something else. And it really changed the game in a dramatic way. It was awesome. I really hope that, honestly, they goes to Marvel Champions. It would be amazing there. We're like, hey, this contract could be Fantastic Four. So you have to play with Fantastic Four characters. And then you can just boost for everyone, right? It'd be amazing to pull that off.
I think that'd be a really cool system to add, especially when you got all these different factions inside of this game. You got maybe in theory X-Men coming. I mean, you could even have like Scarlet Witch as a Brotherhood person if you added these kind of contracts in. I mean, it would be, or as an Avenger in a contract. I think that'd be a really cool way of adding it to that system. Just bringing that from one LCG to another. And like you said, same designer, maybe.
Well, it's already starting because they have the cards in the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch where. What does it say? If you play this event with the other one in play, you get a bonus out of it, right? And so it's trying to build this more dynamic, this more team based approach. But in that case, it's just an event card, not a contract that dramatically changes the game.
And they're doing the Ant-Man and Wasp too, aren't they?
Ant-Man
the same type of deal.
Thing, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they stuff that pairs with each other. All right. By the way, Nick is really trying to get banned for life.
Right
now, he's saying terraforming Mars is so mad. What the heck, Nick? I'm sorry, buddy,
out of control.
But you're not welcome at my table. You apparently table. I got kick you out of my table right here.
Kick you out of my table. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, the table flip. Oh, what? I don't have a program for this. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
By the way, Steve, I like the green screen. I like it. You don't get to see. You got my little fuse box back here. Last week you got to see my table that I handcrafted myself. This week
Yep.
you got my fuse box.
The
It's awesome.
fuse.
Yeah, no, at least the people before me like put this nice. No, it's just a fuse box. Oh, look at that purple. Oh yeah, that's that's quality right there. So now you guys see what kind of palace I live in.
That's okay. I got my stairs behind me. It's about all I could get. I got a green screen, but it's really only about like this big. I can use it for like dice as a green screen for dice. But yeah, I don't have.
Put
I
it
have to.
behind like one ear, and you'll have like
That's about it.
one
I could
part of
like.
your face. Like you'll have like a little bit behind you where the words will show through.
That's it. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I'll do that next time. That'll be great. I'll just wear
And
it
then
like
wear a
around.
green shirt, and then like you'll have like it'll be like a thing.
Oh, totally. All right, sorry. Back on topic. Back on topic. So, Lord of the Rings, LCGs. We got Fantasy Flight cleaning house. Wow, what a lot to start with right there.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. And you think about it, who are the two biggest? I mean, Hasbro's the biggest, right? And then you look at Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, they've got but the two biggest beside them, you look at Asmodee and you look at Simon or Come On, or no, they're back to Simon again. Sorry, back and forth, back and forth. So they're back to Simon again. And like, they're both going through some crazy stuff right now. It feels like the industry in general is going through a little bit of a shakeup. There's speculation that it's moving toward more professional industry, like doing things the big business way. And maybe that's the right way to go. I mean, I don't know, but the bottom line is, you haven't heard stories like this in the past, but I mean, it feels like, we're seeing a lot of things like an Asmodee, as good as they're doing, you've seen a lot of turmoil with them and turnover as well. Like Plaid Hat left, like Kobe left.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not just Fantasy Flight. But yeah, a lot of the big names from Fantasy Flight aren't there anymore.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of wonder what's gonna. And I'm sure this all. I mean, I know this isn't even probably too remotely close to gaming, but even my company actually had like a big kind of restructuring. And I'm in nursing. I'm in nursing. So I mean, what could you have as a big, huge turning point in nursing when it came to like hospital situations? But we have a huge way of redoing everything, restructured all the way to make sure that everything could still be safe in this type of environment. So who knows, maybe people have now seen, oh, hey, we could probably do it like this, now going through this whole era of what 2020 has brought upon us. And they're deciding that, like you said, maybe they're thinking, well, we could do this. And even not only in the gaming industry, just I think all over, certain companies are figuring out, oh, wait, we can do it this way and still be able to either save or be able to expand in light of this new situation instead of just keep doing the norm. And so I think even these gaming companies we love and adore might be moving in that direction to kind of keep things fresh, at least. Who knows?
Well, yeah, even Nick in our
The
chat
big
mentioned
thing,
about
though,
Eric Lang. He left too recently, so he was part of
Mm-hmm.
Simon.
yeah, he did. Now that was of his
Mhm.
own accord, and apparently this was in the works for a while. Those were in the works for a while. I mean, with that, but no, those were in the works for a while, from what I've heard. But the big thing with Simon that you heard was they basically got suspended from the Hong Kong stock market because their stocks were basically like their profit margin was basically so bad that they're like, wait a minute, they paused them, and they said it had something to do with Kickstarter, but yeah, but it's crazy, like the way they get paid out for Kickstarter, but there's just a lot of weird stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kickstarter in itself is its own beast. I know we talked about that last time, but I mean, just to switch gears a little bit, I mean, one of my favorite publishers, Awaken Realms, is doing that ISS Vanguard coming soon. They're not going to Kickstarter this time, which I thought was kind of an interesting move. They're actually going to fund everything through GameFound or something, which is what you normally just use to kind of pay for your like pledge and stuff like that. I mean, they're actually going to do the whole campaign through that system. And if you sign up for it, and you get actually a little bit off the actual pledge, which I thought was an interesting way to go because so many people use Kickstarter. This is the first time I've heard of not using Kickstarter for a big company like that. I shouldn't say big. I mean, they have done well in the Kickstarter market. I wouldn't say they're like a Fantasy Flight type big market group, but still switching to a different platform to try to fund their games is a pretty, I shouldn't say risky move because I know it's going to work for them, but it's just moving outside of Kickstarter even.
Yeah, Virga says GameFound is getting huge. It's interesting because Kickstarter was this like thing, right? That everybody got into and everybody's still into, right? I mean, a lot of the big games are coming out that way now, and it's such a huge marketing engine. But really, it's at this point for the most part. And GameFound is like, well, forget it. You're not going to have a goal. You're not going to have anything else. I mean, GMT was way these games up here, and whenever we get 500 orders, we'll print it and send it out to you guys.
Right.
So I mean, it's bad.
Which isn't a bad system either. I mean, I think both have their merits. It's nice to see some of the smaller companies be able to use something like Kickstarter to know. But even just knowing that 500 people are interested in your game, that's enough even to know you can produce that game then.
Yeah. All right. I think you're right. Yes, GameFound is owned by Awaken Realms. Nick confirmed that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's something I did not know.
Yeah, so they're promoting their own platform, which is usually meant as a like, well, what do they call it? Like after Kickstarter thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like where you do your pledges,
pledge manager. That's
your pledge manager, stuff like that. Okay, I didn't know Awaken Realms owns that. That makes a big difference.
Like, why do you need the Kickstarter anymore? If you can literally, anybody can go in the pledge manager and buy it anyway, what do you need Kickstarter for? Like, I mean, except for that initial hit, right? That initial dopamine hit. Oh my gosh, every Tuesday I know a bunch of new games are coming out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only real, big thing about it. It's like everybody's eyes are on Kickstarter on Tuesday. So it's like the marketing day for board games.
Exactly. The marketing and the communication is what Kickstarter is so huge at right now. But like it makes sense because like if you're going to pay royalty fees or whatever, not royalty fees, but you can pay fees to host on Kickstarter, right? And on GameFound. But you absolutely need GameFound to run your system. Like, why not? If you got the communication going, so. But yeah,
except you're paying Kickstarter for marketing. I mean, that's really what it is.
You are.
I mean, for that hit, everybody's watching your campaign for 30 days or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, Nick brought something up interesting. He said Indiegogo for Street Masters recently. Well, I have a little bit of news on that. I think this isn't breaking news, but they were actually running another campaign at the same time, and that's why. Correct. Kickstarter has really been enforcing those rules lately where you can't, until you deliver one campaign, you can't put another one on there. So they wanted to get Street Masters campaign out quickly. They were running Dire Alliance, and so they had to go somewhere else. And so, I mean, right now, Kickstarter and Indiegogo, before this GameFound news, really were the only news out there, or the only places out there that you could go. And so that's why I believe they did both, because they did them both at the same time. And it's a little bit weird. I wonder if at some point Kickstarter is going to say, wait a minute, that's really still breaking our rules, right? You haven't delivered one thing yet, and now you're running crowdfunding for another thing. I wonder if they're going to keep it exclusive to their own platform, or if they are going to start going, wait a minute, this is a little sketchy here.
Right. I mean, and those kind of not being like trying to do stuff on top of stuff does also hurt publishers in a way sometimes. I mean, I know there was that big debacle with was it Blacklist Games? It was basically I think what game was it? Was it Street Master still hadn't delivered their Aftershock, and they tried to do Alter Quest, and it didn't really do as well. People kind of thought, well, this isn't really delivering yet. What's going on?
No, Alter Quest did great. It was the superhero one.
That's the one. Okay.
Hour of Need. Yeah.
That's
Hour of Need didn't do well. I mean, there were other reasons for that. It launched literally right when Marvel Champions came out also.
Exactly.
That's right.
Full circle.
And there's
full circle.
And I can understand it because, I mean, one of my favorite games, Myth, got really stuck in this Kickstarter cycle, MegaCon Games, where they did Myth. It did so well. Then they did a couple other games that now all of a sudden people saw that they were paying for their shipping and their construction of the game that funded on Kickstarter through their next Kickstarter. And if they didn't get the money from that Kickstarter to help, I mean, they kind of crashed and burned through their second expansion on Myth because they didn't have the money coming from the previous Kickstarters, so they didn't do as well, and it was just this weird snowball effect, and they couldn't deliver a lot of stuff.
That is not as uncommon as you think.
Okay.
That happens way more than you think for
Yeah.
these small to medium sized company. We were talking to a publisher about doing one of our games, and they're like, "Well, our last one didn't do as well as we thought, so we really need this next one to do well before we sign it and anything else." So, I mean, they were. I mean, this is a little bit insider, and I'm not telling you who the company
Sure.
was. But bottom line is, they knew that they weren't able to pay their bills, and that's one of the big things with this industry, man. People think it's so much money, big money. See these, $1 million Kickstarters, $15 million. People aren't making 15 million.
No.
Isaac is not dollars in his pocket. Maybe he
No.
did, but by the time he paid for all his manufacturing and everything else, there is no way. There is not that much money. Now, don't get me wrong. Isaac's going to be all right.
Mhm.
But do we really think he's going to have another $15, $20 campaign? Like, but as someone who's in sales knows, you can't shining because there's going to be times where you're not making money. And there's going to be times where you're making no money. And it could be years. I mean, how long was it between Gloomhaven and Frosthaven? Right? Like, so not that he was poor and not making any money during that time, but the bottom line is there are times in sales where you like make a lot of money and then that money's got to last you a couple years.
Right. That makes total sense. I mean, even when Kingdom Death hit that huge mark in their 1.5 campaign or something of like millions and millions and millions of dollars, people kept screaming, "Why can't we get more free from you?" And he kept saying, just because I'm making all this, the pledge numbers are still the same, and I have to deliver that pledge to every person that's hitting that button. Sure, right. I'm sure there's a little bit of, he's obviously making money. He's not, that guy again, Poots, is not probably suffering too badly, but he can't just keep saying, "Oh, I can give more free stuff because we keep getting more millions, more millions, more millions," because every part of that dollar is actually another pledge that I have to try to fulfill to this person, and there's manufacturing costs, like you're saying, and all this. And I remember him kind of coming on the chat, kind of talking about that, kind of saying, just because this is making a lot doesn't mean we're making a lot.
Well, and here's the other thing about stretch goals. Yes, manufacturing costs come down to a point, but there are fixed costs associated with it. And not only that, but why, as a company, would you want to give away all of your profits? It doesn't make sense to me. No. Like, that's literally what you're doing. Every time you give more to the campaign, and I get that I didn't get more people in, but if every time I make $1,000, I spend $1,000, there's no benefit in me doing those stretch goals anymore. Right. Like, you have to be making more. I'm sorry. Like, this is a business thing. Like, I agree. But that's not the way life works. Like, like every time they give you something, they have to get something also, or they wouldn't keep doing it. So at some point, the cost becomes higher. And it's not like it's a one-time fixed cost. It's not like I made $1,000 more, so now I'm going to pay $1,000 to get something. Well, guess what? I'm not paying $1,000. I'm paying $1,000 plus the manufacturing cost of that thing, which might be 5 cents, 10 cents. So I got to pay somebody to sculpt it. I got to pay somebody to do the art. I've got to pay somebody to design. Like, there's a lot of costs that are associated. You can't give away every penny that you have in stretch goals. And sorry, that's my that's my rant.
No, it's true. Like even Skinner saying it's like Kingdom Death also is a company that does just miniatures on itself. They're not just Kingdom Death. So they are also making, and even some people kind of thought that the original Kickstarter, which he really underfunded that one, as far as I'm concerned, what you got from that game. And it took forever to get that out. I suspect, and I don't know if it's true or not, I'm sure a lot of that he was still trying to get money, and he can make a lot through these extra all the miniatures that he sells, like monthly and bi-monthly. So I'm wondering if some of that helped even keep that funding going for Kingdom Death while he was trying to manufacture it. Because the original base game was a pledge of $150. And now it retails for $400. I mean, he just kept stocking more and more stuff in there, and it kept delaying and kept delaying and kept delaying. So you kind of wonder where all this, of course, we'll never know. That's not our deal to know these things at all, but you kind of wonder.
And the other thing is, wait, what's?
I think Bairnt saw the message about KDM.
Yeah, KDM. Now there's a game that really blows.
Yes. Well, Mike's getting rid of his, so
he is getting rid of it. Come on, I haven't even heard the 5 and 5 yet. He's getting rid of it.
Oh, Mike. I have half of his games here now at this point, so. Yeah, but so here's the one benefit for everybody if Kickstarter sticks to this rule, and they don't just stick for it with the small companies, but they stick for it with Simon and everybody else. If they stick to this rule, here's what we're not going to get anymore, or not get as much of anymore, and I'm thankful for it. We're not going to get half-baked games. And again, I know a company very well, and it may or may not be the same company I was talking about earlier, that like their games aren't designed when they're on Kickstarter. And there's a lot of companies that do this, right? You could see, oh, well, I'll fix this, or oh, we don't have the rules yet, or they give you these draft rule books, which aren't the final rule book. Like, and there's a lot of mistakes in them. That's because the game's not done yet.
Yeah.
You look at something that I pledged years ago, which was by Greater Than Games. What the heck was that game? The Halloween game. It was like they did it at Halloween time, so like, oh, let's get excited about Halloween. Well, it's been 4 Halloween since that game, Sleepy Hollow, right? That game was not designed. They had one mission. They're like, oh, we don't want to show you stuff because we don't want to spoil what's coming up ahead. No, they didn't have it designed. That's why they didn't want to spoil stuff. Like, it's true. Like, I know the designers. I know the company. Like, and I mean, and it's frustrating, right? Like, it's not the only one. There's a lot of them. You would be shocked. And you get these games and you're so excited. You play the first couple missions are great, and then you play the last 10, and they're like garbage. Nobody did their work. It wasn't done, and so they just threw crap together. Rant over. All right,
good work, Peter. Good work, Peter. Peter's off. He did that.
He's got the chair. He's got the chair.
He's gonna take the chair. He's gonna take the chair to Kickstarter and all those people that don't break their games before they put them on Kickstarter. So let's see here. In other news, what do we got going on? Well,
all right, I'm gonna have to go get a drink after that rant.
Go get a drink. I'm going to talk about Aliens because I'm super excited about this.
Yes, let's talk Aliens.
Gale Force 9. It's shipping right now. I'm pretty excited for this one. For those that don't know, I did actually get a copy. The One Stop Co-op Shops did get a copy of this game, and I'm excited to get a playthrough out. It's coming Friday. I'm really excited for this one. I've dug into this game. For those that don't know, I'm an absolute fanatic when it comes to Aliens. I made Colin and Steve play the Aliens game during our, the extra life stream. We had a blast doing it. It was so much fun, but that's beyond the point. So Gale Force 9 has decided to make an Aliens game. They got the rights to it. So actually the artwork is all from the movie, which is really cool. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Is this what you guys played at Extra Life? I'm sorry.
No, this is not. This is the Extra Life one we played was actually the Leading Edge Games 1989 version of the Aliens game. And still to this day, that is the only Aliens game that is any good. It's
By the way, if you guys want to see that playthrough, I lost it. I'm sorry. That was all me.
It was so funny, too.
I lost it. I lost all the audio. You could watch the video, but there won't be one sound coming out of it. So you'd be looking at it with no idea what's going on.
Oh, that's funny. But they did a great job. There has been a lot of other Alien games coming out. Obviously, the card game is really good, too, but they didn't get the art for the game from the movies. It's their own type of art style, which that's fine. I'm just such a big fan of this movie that it's cool that this is coming out. There are some caveats to this that everybody needs to be aware of. You have to assemble the minis, which is something you don't normally do in games like this. Yep, there it is. I've got that mat too.
We wanted a table with all the play mats on it.
We do. There's the table with the play mats.
Last time, but here's my play mats on the table. There's like stuff under the stuff in here, but I promised the play mats. I got another one over here too, but
that's pretty good.
That's now awesome. You said that was the only good Aliens game. Legendary Encounters Aliens.
No, it's really good. You're right. I really wish they would have been able to get the art from Fox. That would have been awesome.
Well, I mean, it was better than their what the heck was the Firefly art?
Oh gosh,
which I think somebody's kid drew.
That could very well be. Yes, I will say it was better than that. That's
I'm so upset with that one too because like what happened is that like they went out and they asked people, and I can't remember what it was. They decided to go with that art, and then they said like, "Hey, do you guys like this art or not?" People like, "No, I hate that. I want to see the screen caps." And so like. The next Legendary expansion, which was Marvel Legendary, they did screen caps and like, no, we don't want this. We want the Marvel comic art. Come on. So they did the exact opposite of both those games. It's just like, come on, guys, come on. So anyway,
that's pretty funny.
I mean, Marvel.
That's pretty good.
yeah, the comic art is so good for Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
why would you have your own artist do art like for the thing that was on screen? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's exactly reversed to me.
Anyway,
all right. So this one is from Gale Force 9. It actually is pretty good. You have to put all the minis together. The alien minis are a little awkward to put together. The tail doesn't really glue on very well. I took some pictures and showed it on Discord where I actually had to balance the tail on other miniatures while it was gluing because it wouldn't, unless I wanted to stand there for a few minutes while my glue held. I was like, this is ridiculous. I only have the core box. There are 2 other expansions. One of them gives you another set of Marines, so you kind of get the entire cast of the movie. And the other one gives you the Queen and the power loader that you're fighting. All these come with scenarios. The ultimate Marine one does not come with a scenario, but the base game comes with a campaign mission of 3, which is similar to the movie. You're going to rescue Newt, then you're in the reactor room, and then you're trying to operations area. And the campaign, some of the cool things that are happening is your deck of cards that you use for endurance, for firing weapons, and doing different actions and things like this actually persists through the campaign. So whatever you use, if you use a lot of your resources in the first mission, you might not have enough to get through all three of these missions. So you kind of have to decide how you want to deal with the aliens. Do you want to try to shoot them all? Do you want to run from them? Do you want to try to get in a certain area? We try to box them together so you can throw grenades at them, things like this. So it has a really interesting kind of mechanic in that aspect. Also, you play as 6 Marines. Steve's gonna love it. You have to. Steve's instantly on board. Instantly on board. Now the interesting thing about the way
one of my favorite games though, Deep Madness does that.
Yeah.
But typically I hate that.
So in this one you actually get to be a hero character. So say you want to be Hicks. That's your hero character. He's got a couple abilities and stuff. Everyone you're not controlling is actually just a grunt. So they actually have more, I shouldn't say dumbed down, but they don't have special abilities.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
So
I love that actually.
And you activate them based on the rank of your character. So if you're Private Hudson, well, he's not that great of a leader, so he's not going to be able to activate a lot of grunts on the actual Marines' turns, and they could get overrun faster. So I've found playing 2 players is really the way to go, even if you're playing by yourself, because you can then at least have...
You already have this? What did I miss?
Yes, it's right here.
Wait, I thought this was coming to Kickstarter. Wait, what am I missing?
No. This is shipping right now. You can still pre-order it on Gale Force 9, but it's in the midst of shipping. Some people in the UK have already got it. And it's going to be shipping to America very soon. So yes, no, this isn't going to Kickstarter.
So when is it coming to the channel?
It's coming Friday.
Bairnt's covering it.
Yeah, I gotta see this. This sounds awesome.
I've got the playthrough's recorded. I edited it all up. I'm all set. It's probably going to drop on the channel tomorrow and then be up on Friday. Is the plan?
Oh well, I'll have to see the behind the scenes. I need to subscribe to our Patreon so I can get the early cuts of everything.
If you're interested in seeing an unboxing, this other channel, Meet Me at the Table, did an unboxing of it. You could go check out. Where I went through all the different cards and all
I feel like they copied our Meet Us at the News Desk name.
Yeah, I hear that guy over there is a jerk though, too. So watch out. He's kind of weirdo. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, Bairnt,
for those obviously that probably
Nick wanted to ask some questions about this game with you.
Yes, please.
What did you not like about the enemies? He said. That's one of the things he asked.
The enemies. The enemies themselves are fine. What I didn't like was the fact I had to put them together.
Oh, just that. Okay.
Assembly. Is this in this new game version?
Correct. You have to assemble the minis for this. They are on sprues. You got to clip them out. You got to glue them up. You got to get them ready. Even the Marines are all clipped and glued. So if you're used to doing that kind of stuff, cool. If you're not, from what I understand, you can pre-order a copy that has all the minis assembled for you from Gale Force. That is an option. So if you're not wanting to put them together, you can get that, which is kind of cool. And also, I guess
I'm curious if with that version they have better storage for them as well, right? Because they have to ship them in a way that they won't get damaged.
They ship them in a different box. You're actually going to get the core box with no minis in it, and then they're going to ship you an extra box that has the minis assembled in it.
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't need more boxes?
Right.
Right. Always. Now, for since it's just going to be a brown box, it's going to have the minis in it. You're going to dump them out be, oh, there you go. Now, again, warning, all the tails on your aliens are going to fall off. That's just going to happen. I've already had to re-glue one of them together. It just happens.
All right, so component issues aside, the game is awesome?
The game is good. It's missing one thing that I really wish they would have put in it. And that's the fact that the way they handled the acid for blood for aliens is really not there. And I really think that's a miss because that's such a key factor in this perfect organism concept where even if you shoot them at point blank range with a pulse rifle, it's just the alien dies. I do like the fact that it's you roll, you hit, things dead. I mean, there's not like, oh, this one has 3 hit points, this one has 2 hit points, I got to keep track of life, da-da-da-da. No, you hit them, they're done, which is fine. They do come in swarms occasionally, which then you're just taking off tokens and then eventually destroying the whole thing, which is kind of thematic in a way. The actions are fine. You get 2, then you control some grunts, and then your turn's done, which is fine. You have an endurance deck that when you equip your characters, you can equip them with any type of weapons and anything you want, which is kind of cool, but again, Gorman's not running around with the M56 smart gun, but I can do it in this game. I can give Gorman a smart gun, which is just fine. Of course, he's not going to be proficient in it, which means he'll have a little bit of a detriment. It's not even a detriment that even matters. So again, I kind of wish they'd equip people in the way they're supposed to be equipped. Of course, Vasquez does have her smart gun, and she takes less endurance to fire it than the other Marines.
Well,
but
I don't know. I'm the guy in Journeys in Middle Earth who made Legolas a bard. So I guess I can't complain about not being equipped.
All over this game. It's going to be fantastic. As opposed to me, who's like super thematic. I want it like exactly like this. Like Hicks has his shotgun. Hicks got the pulse rifle, stuff like that. From what I've played so far, it's been enjoyable. Very easy system. You roll the D10. If you get under a certain number, you kill the alien. When the alien runs up to you, if you don't kill it by then, it gets a chance to attack you. If it goes above your melee score, it knocks you down. If you're knocked down next to an alien by the end of your turn, his next turn, he grabs you, you're gone. That's the deal. So,
all right. So if you guys aren't reading the chat, apparently there's a cheaper way to get the game. Because Orida says on their website they have a version that says pre-assembled figures, and it's cheaper. So apparently there aren't any pictures, but it looks like you get all 3 boxes for $75. But the other versions separately are $150.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. But go now. You heard it here first.
Go check it out
before they figure it out that it doesn't make any
for
sense.
$75 for all 3 of those boxes of pre-assembled minis. This game is worth it.
Yeah, no joke. Holy cow! All right, hold on. Before we go live with this. Oh crap, we're live? What?
Bye.
I've already said it's for real.
Dude, this game looks awesome though. Like when I was watching your
bye. They're gonna get on tomorrow morning. They're gonna be like, why is there 150 orders of our game? Oh crap! What did we do?
You're wrong.
Yeah, Bairnt, I was watching unboxing. I the part that like really grabbed me was when you showing the cards, and it's got the motion sensor on the back of it, right?
Yes.
And it's cool because it's got like blips on it, but it's like kind of random blips, but some of the cards have like more blips and other cards have less blips on it. And so it kind of gives you an idea of like how bad this thing's you're going to encounter next is. And I thought there was like just some really cool concepts in that game.
That's exactly right. You can do that. There's 3 different levels of the motion tracker, and like Steve says, you at least see the top of the card, which shows you kind of how many blips are on the card, so you can get an idea of how bad this next card is going to be. And then, of course, they do have motion sensors as equipment, so you could use that equipment card since you see some really bad one up there, and then you are going to test it pretty much by flipping a card, and based on what the card is, it's going to test against that motion tracker, and if you get the right card draw, it can activate that motion tracker to be able to take those cards and manipulate them. And I'll tell you right now, after playing, you need to manipulate that deck the best you can because the aliens aren't the killer. That deck is the killer because that's what brings certain aliens out. And then also the next thing you know, you've got 3 swarms of aliens coming at you that you didn't think were going to be there. And without manipulating that deck, it's bad news.
Oh, okay. Here's a kicker. Alright, just said, small print. In order to purchase this, you must have previously ordered the Alien Set product. So it sounds like
so you got to pay the 150 plus the $75.
That sounds more.
That sounds
That's
right.
just for the miniatures themselves.
So you heard it here first. You can get the minis for $75.
Yeah. So Bairnt, let me ask you this: have you played?
No problem, Rita.
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm wondering. So wait a minute. Hold on. Let me take 27 steps back here.
Sure.
You've
30 if you
never played Space Hulk and you're a huge Aliens fan? How is that even possible? That game is Aliens.
All right, I'll have to borrow from Colin and give it a shot.
Well, the problem, and here's the problem, because this is what I was going to ask. Is this the solo co-op version? Because the problem with Space Hulk is it's not solo. It is competitive.
Game I played is solo co-op. Every one of them.
What was that?
Every Aliens game I played is solo co-op.
Right. And so that's the problem with Space Hulk then for you. I do believe they have, on Steam, I believe they actually sell the game like a video game version where the AI is, but I mean, you could play a video game at that point. I mean, it's not though. It's the board game. But yeah, you should play that with Colin sometime.
There's also
he has it. I'll give it a shot.
The Death Angel one? Are you talking about that one? The Space Hulk Death Angel? Or am I
getting No, just Space Hulk. The original Space Hulk game is you get 4 Marines, and there are these blips that are coming in from all over the place that are aliens that are like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a small expansion or card game. It's a small expansion, or not expansion. Sorry, a small box. It's Space Hulk Death Angel, the card game. I think it's the official name.
Yeah, it's like a $20 fantasy flight game. I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And that's got the similar.
Steve, Mike liked that one a lot.
It's good. It's good. But you gotta like dice chucking, so because that's all it is. Lots of dice chucking.
Oh no, we don't like dice chucking at all.
No, not
Mike
at all.
And I hate that.
No,
P.S. I don't think we've designed a game without dice.
Yeah. No, this game does, as more has a little bit of the zombie side type mechanics on it, where you kind of have these blips, you don't know what's there, but then all of a sudden just this horde of aliens are there. And they only come from certain areas. So I was kind of wishing, there is a mechanic where they can come up right underneath you, which is kind of cool, but it's pretty rare. I kind of wish there had been more. One thing I really enjoyed about the Leading Edge game is, just like in the movie, you never knew where they were going to come from. It's like all of a sudden, boom, there's an alien there. Oh, there's an alien coming out of the wall here. There's an alien coming out of the wall there. Oh, quick, behind us, we got to kill these two, like kind of thing. But this one, you always know where the aliens are going to be spawning from. So at one point, I had Basquiat standing in a corridor between 2 spawn points. So if anything spawned, that smart gun was going off and ready to go because I knew where these things were coming from. So I kind of wish they would have had a little bit more randomness to where some of these things would spawn. I kind of wish that would have happened too. But overall, I think it's a pretty good game. I still will always grab that Leading Edge Games one. It's just so much fun. I never not have fun playing that.
I laughed so hard in that game.
Yes, I have played. I don't know. I think I've played Nemesis on the channel 4 times. So
I guess I should watch our channel or your channel. One of the channels.
One of the channels. No, I did do a Nemesis playthrough on One Stop. I have a few on I actually did every single alien race that they have on my channel. Love that game as well. That game is fantastic. Again, I think it's because you have that surprise of what's coming. You're never safe. You're never you're almost always outnumbered. Even when you think you have the numbers and the drop on things can just go wrong and it just snowballs. And I'm hoping I can get a little bit more out of this one. But as I said, as you're playing through it, by the time you get to that 3rd mission, it's going to feel like the movie. They're down to 4 people. They're in strung out shape. They're barely have enough endurance to be able to keep going. And here come more aliens. So it does kind of have that feel to it, which is kind of cool. And you're really hoping to keep that endurance deck down. But if I don't shoot that alien, it's going to come and attack me again. Hopefully I can dodge it, but maybe I'm not. So it does bring a little bit of tension, which is pretty cool. It keeps that kind of tension up there.
All right. So Bairnt brings excitement on one game every week. We need a name for this segment. It's
what is Bairnt hyped about?
Bairnt's game that he's taken to 13. This one I'm more interested in the last one, but you also have me interested in the game from 1989, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work out.
If that's on Tabletop Simulator, Peter, I'd play it with you anytime to show you how the game
You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it for the channel. We're going to figure it out, and we'll do it one of these Thursdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. I don't know. One day where we don't have something going out.
Again for that
We're asking on the chat about this very topic. Both Varega and Skeena are asking how often are we doing this, and we're not sure yet. We got to get the schedule because we're getting a lot of feedback that people like it.
Right now we're planning on once a month.
Once a month to start, right? And then we can figure out from there, right? So
I mean, I just don't know that there's enough good news to do it more than once a month. I can only rant about Kickstarters that are
Once a
so
month.
often.
We got to have multiple segments. We got my overhyped game, and we got Peter's weekly rant or monthly rant.
I mean, I haven't even gotten into game publishers yet. Like, you don't even want me to get into that. That's like,
That'll be the
oh,
next
wait
one.
a minute. Wait, we just got 100. I don't even know what that
That's
is.
a cheer.
There's 100 subs. We got a little meeple come
That's
out.
a cheer.
Yell something. What just happened?
Thanks already for
We
the
got
cheer.
100. I don't even know what that is. Peter, you cracked me up, man.
Steve, what's going on here?
We got
gave us a
meeple
cheer.
excitement everywhere.
He gave us 100 bits. So
100 bits for a cheer.
Nice. So that's a cheer. Well, I cheer you, Alrighta. I cheer you.
yeah, and I got
No,
fixed the
hold
animation.
on.
So
Did somebody else give us 100 bits so I could see that thing again? What happened?
I don't even know how to do it here. Give 100. Did that work? No, that didn't work.
no, you need to go. So how it works, just so everyone aware. So you have to go buy a big collection of bits, and you go. I think it's on Twitch's site. I can't remember where you get it. Oh, and then you can spend those bits however you want, but basically it's a form of cheering, and then that becomes converts into a monetary donation to us on the channel, which is awesome. So thanks a lot for that.
Very
That's
cool.
pretty
Well,
awesome.
thank you
Thank you
so
very
much
much.
for that. I didn't know what happened there, but I was super excited because Steve got eaten by this giant black meatball.
Here comes another one.
What that was all
Thanks,
about.
Rita.
Whoa, there it is again. All right, thank you so much. You don't have to do it again. Wait, where's the meatball?
It's
Steve!
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
Be
there it
patient.
is.
Be patient. I'm gonna put you up on the side so you can eat next time.
Nice. All right.
slap Steve in the face.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
that's what we so,
Yes, it punches Steve in the face every time
with money.
people donate 100
With
bits.
money.
Steve gets slapped in the face.
Oh,
That's too.
oh yeah, I got
That's like-
I got to adjust that
that's
animation,
like,
but it's been fun. So
That's
So-
awesome. I love that. All right, Steve, good job. I know Steve's worked hard on a lot of this stuff. And guys, we have a really, really big oh, is that at the top? Like people that have donated
that's correct.
bits? I see
We
that
have a
now.
leaderboard.
A
Oh,
leaderboard.
leaderboard.
Oh
All
my
right,
gosh.
Ryan Hoser. I don't even know Ryan Hoser. Like, when did I miss that?
Ryan Hooser.
That must have been
That is my brother-in-law.
Sorry. He's a hoser, eh?
Hoser and hoser.
Gosh.
All right. If you don't know that reference, it's from what is that from?
It's from the
beer-
Canadian guys from Strange Brew.
Strange Brew.
Yep. Go watch that movie right now if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
After you watch Aliens, because you have to see that too.
Yes. Ryan Hoser has donated 300 bits, eh?
Hey. That's right, eh?
Well, thank you guys for all the donations. Wow, that's really cool. I like that. All right.
So anyway, Aliens. I'm done praising the Aliens game. That's my praise segment. It's been a lot of fun playing through it. It's kind of nice to reminisce, and all the cards, of course, actually have quotes from the movie, which is pretty cool to see. So it's been a lot of nostalgia being able to go back and playing that game just to even remember the movie. If for those that don't know, I can quote that movie from front to back. I've played it like 300 times. It's my favorite movie of all time. So it's just awesome to even start playing a game that like connection to it.
Well, my kids are now getting old enough where I think I'm going to start doing as well. So, I feel like the Alien movies are in our near future.
Yeah, mine are not 8 and 10. We just watched some.
See, my boy just turned 13, and I feel like he's there. Am I wrong?
I think I saw Aliens even earlier than that, just because. I mean, all it was swearing. Was really the only downside to it. There's not really a lot of like blood and guts and all this because it's really just more of an action movie. But there's a ton of swearing, and so if your kids can understand, like those aren't what we say. I mean, I think it could get.
I mean, that's only what Daddy says. So they know that.
Daddy can say that all the time.
Actually, I feel like they've been around Mike enough that they know what swearing is. So if you guys have ever seen Mike do any live playthroughs, you'll know that he's very edited on the podcast and on his videos because he's a sailor.
Oh, that's pretty true. So
I love that you said that that's way true and not like trying to like contradict me on that at all. That's awesome.
So yeah, Aliens by Gale Force 9. That's all I got. We got the LCG news. That was pretty exciting. What else do you guys got?
Do we want to hit one more piece of news before we get out of here?
2 more pieces
Hit me
at
with
least.
one more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to the BGG? I mean, I don't want this to be like a 5-hour video, but do we want to hit BGG right now? Do people have opinions on that?
Oh, the homepage?
Am I supposed to have an opinion on that?
Well, they redid BGG, right? Like that's huge in our sphere. Right.
What are some of the things that they changed about that you like, and some of the things you don't?
Well, I mean, it's a big page of a lot of pictures. Like, I mean, if I was new to board gaming and I saw this page, it would be very overwhelming to the senses. I understand the old one was overwhelming with words here and there.
I really thought it was out of control with words. I wouldn't even scroll through half the stuff. Stuff was most of the time. It was like, oh, it's like, and so I would only just really use the search engine to find the game I'm looking for, and then once I got in the game, I really didn't find a lot of new stuff on the old page, unless I really want to search for it. But I didn't want to. I just wanted to learn about. This is a lot easier. I can. Oh, hey, here's that
Steve,
game.
You got the old page, dude. What are you doing? You're not even showing the right stuff.
Come on, Steve.
That's not the one.
Step it up.
No, this is the old. Oh wait, maybe it is. I don't think so. That looks like the old page.
No, the old page is the dashboard.
Yes, correct. Oh, Explorer.
Yeah, so here's the old stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. So the hotness, they've got pictures now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And before it used to be just a tab as to what's hot, which I thought was kind of nice because I could look through the 20 or 30 games that were kind of hot right now. Right. Where now it's like I have to kind of slide over, but at least you get the cover art.
Well, right, and you get cover art for everything. And the one thing I do like, and you go dashboard, and it's all the old stuff, right? That's exactly how it used to look. So they do have the option for both. I mean, if you were a new person, though, and you clicked on that, didn't even click on Explore, it just defaults to that. Like, I mean, how would you feel? Like, I feel a little overwhelmed myself, and maybe the old page would have been overwhelming for me as well. I don't remember it being overwhelming. I feel like all this artwork and all this stuff, because everybody has like epic artwork on the front of their games now. It's not these boring like Euro covers from the past. And so there's like all this explosive artwork. Like, I don't know. It's sensory overload for me with the new page at this point.
It comes down to like this is more of a modern design of how web pages are going than like honestly the dashboard, which is more like a spreadsheet. So it's really outdated, and it's probably a lot to do with what we've been normalized to. We've just kind of been so exposed to it, right? But I'm curious how they've tested this in the background and how it's fared out, especially to people who aren't privy to the industry, because this hobby of ours is so niche, right? And we're just so used to things being a certain way, but this is designed in such a way so that people who happen across it won't like have their eyes bleed. so that's good.
Sure.
Well, so as you scroll down, does yours say like solo games and like top publisher and top?
I've got hotness, crowdfunding countdown features, and my favorite one is the hot videos. And if you scroll over one of the hot videos is an unboxing of Aliens by Meet Me at the Table. This awesome YouTube channel you should check out.
What is that?
So actually, I'm pretty excited.
By the way, I feel like at some point we should upload some of these videos to BGG. We've never done that. Just on a side note.
Just a side note.
Like
I didn't even know I was there until I started scrolling down. I didn't even know that my video was even up there until I started scrolling down.
How do you put it up there? Like, do you do it yourself?
I didn't have it up there. I didn't even put. I didn't tell
it's gotta be metrics that they're pulling from.
There.
So
yeah, I'm sure it is.
But how do you get it on BGG? You uploaded it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We don't do that.
Yeah, we do.
We probably should at some point, but no. But like the Geek Weekly, like Geek Shopping, like I like. I like how they have new releases. New releases is actually my favorite feature. It is freaking amazing because there is nowhere else in the entire world that show you the new releases for board games. So this to me is amazing, although it's not complete. Because like if there was a new Marvel Champions pack released, I don't think it would show up here.
No, it normally would. Well, yeah, it doesn't get the same traction here as it does in other locations. It really depends on where those discussions are happening or not. Because I know, like even the Fantasy Flight Games forums gets some level of traction there too. But honestly, Discord is the main source for a lot of those conversations. I feel around the LCGs at least.
Now, is there a Discord for Fantasy Flight, or is it a Discord for each individual one? Like, what are you
There
talking
are a
about?
number of Discords for each individual one, so I don't know if Fantasy Flight has their own Discord yet. I've not seen one, but there are a number of publishers who do have one. I'm on a few of them, and a few of them are game specific, a few more are publisher specific, so it just varies.
Okay. So, Steve, the one thing I noticed on this new BGG page that drives me the most crazy, though, you guys ready for a new rant?
Okay.
Bring it on. Okay, rant. We should make it a double segment.
Double rant, quadruple rant, 5-tuple rant. Steve, what the F? Why do you have 4 unread messages and 809 unread news, like, feeds? Why are you subscribed to these feeds if you're never going to look at them? What are you doing, Steve? What are you doing? It's driving me crazy. I hate red bubbles.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, what are you doing?
I subscribe to a lot of games to try to keep up on them, so yes. A lot of them are...
How can you hate bubbles? I mean, I don't got any on my phone. I only got like what? 61,884 emails I haven't read.
Is going crazy right now over your freaking red bubbles. It's driving me crazy.
I got 61,000 emails I haven't read. Come on.
I can't believe it!
Oh, you know, just because Steve must be like I just kind of subscribe to everything, and you know, if it's something comes up, maybe I'll read it and forget to unsubscribe. You know.
Yeah, I do forget to unsubscribe to him too, but so in the chat, or it is talking about he will give us 100 more bits if you send him one of these shirts.
What, one of these?
Yeah,
shirts?
one of these shirts.
Terrence has been begging for one of these shirts. He doesn't get that, but. Are we going to make an announcement?
I think we can mention it.
We're not
mention it.
Sure.
So
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming very, very soon.
It's coming. There is a merch store on the way. I just bought $200 worth of merch myself the other day for me and my family. I was super excited by it. It's out there. I bet they could search.
Well, they already found it. They already found it
now.
below the stream. So there's a coming soon link down there. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Coming soon meaning I already bought some crap from it. So it's I mean it's
coming very soon.
We
put it that way, guys.
It actually has a coming soon down there. That's my favorite. Okay, should we announce it? Maybe we should. Well, I don't know if we should. Okay, it's coming soon. And yep, sure enough. It's right
yeah, exactly.
I don't even see it. I don't know where you guys are
looking. If you're on the Twitter page and you go down to the about, below that I've got it pulled up ready. So.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
Breaking news right there. Yeah, we have
breaking news soon. That we've already. Oh, shop now, coming soon. It's all. It's a giant thing. And the funniest part about it is, what's that T-shirt? I've never even. Oh, Peter, that's because it's black on black.
Yeah,
yeah, we do. I was like, what's that T-shirt? I haven't seen that one. Yeah, because it's terrible, and we didn't put that one.
Yeah, that was the original design we changed. So, and yes, Nick, we will give you that link soon, very soon. Trust me. So.
And just to give you a little tidbit info, like for Jeopardy, when they have the category one-stop co-op shop, there's a mug for coffee there, and there is actually only one person in the one-stop co-op shop that drinks coffee, which I thought was rather
that was hilarious because I said, amazing. Guys, we have to have a coffee mug. Like I was insistent because all
you can get to it.
Wait, what?
I'm going to order something now. Sure, go for it. Order something. Sure.
I mean, guys, go for it. Right now, it's I will tell you, it's the cheapest prices you'll get on the store. Where we've got a sale going. We're planning on releasing with a sale. So yeah, if you can find it, go for it. Prices will be going up soon, but yeah.
Of course, I typed in the chat, sure, order it. So
Oh,
I can't even type. That's
I'm
awesome.
curious. You guys have to teach me because I thought that was up and running, but cool.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
Look, these are our
So,
most loyal fans right here. They've
yeah.
given us 200 bits, 300 bits. Like they got to hear my
Rants.
accent live, my Canadian accent
Eh,
live.
eh. Go play some hockey, eh? Strange Brew, what a good movie. But
I
yes,
can't find anything. Boom! We
we hit it.
so oh, Steve just hit it. You see Steve working? Steve's a sneaky SOB right there. He's been sitting there like typing away. He's like, "Oh, you can find it, can you?" Ha! No, you can't. Done. Down.
Oh, that's
I don't
pretty
know
good.
how they're getting it. You have to tell me. I didn't do anything yet. So, but yeah, that's cool. So good.
Yes,
Boom! Ordered.
good.
Oh no, we did get it. We got some orders in. Oh man.
Nice.
This
That's
is
pretty
hilarious.
awesome.
We haven't even all ordered our stuff. I'll be honest. The reason we haven't made the shop live yet is that we are. Oh wait, Steve's about to smack in the face. Boom! Oh, sorry. So Steve got slapped for not hiding it well enough.
That's right.
So the reason we haven't made it live yet is because we wanted to make sure that the quality was good ourselves.
Right.
We didn't
Yes.
want to send you guys to a site. We don't have any of this merch yet, so we wanted to make sure it was live. So there you go. There's our news for today.
Yes.
Boom.
And just to give you the inside scoop, the person that ordered the coffee mug for his coffee actually is me. I'm the only member of the One Stop Co-op Shop who drinks coffee. I couldn't believe it.
That's true. Colin doesn't drink it.
Nope.
Mike doesn't drink it.
And you
Even
two don't.
I don't drink it. Yeah, you were literally.
I'm the-
And Jason doesn't drink it either, right?
I don't think he does. When we talked about it, I was like, oh, I got to get a coffee mug for coffee. You guys should all do that. And you all went, we don't drink coffee. I'm like, are you kidding me? Not a single one of you drinks coffee? I think I drink probably 3 cups a day, easy.
And I was the one who insisted on getting coffee mugs
You're
because
the coffee
all
mug
the
guy.
other podcasts and like board game creators have like whiskey glasses and beer glasses and that. Look, my wife drinks coffee every day. Like, I mean, I don't drink whiskey every day. Maybe some people do, but like, I wanted something that would be like, there all the time when you need it. I ordered 2 mugs, by the way. Arita, I noticed you said you ordered 2 mugs and a T-shirt. Or a mug and a T-shirt. I ordered 2 mugs, one for my wife and one for my daughter, who doesn't drink coffee, but she will drink her milk out of that mug. And guess what? I'm going to be drinking some alcoholic beverages out of that mug when you join my Friday Marvel cast.
That's pretty awesome.
So, and here's the thing: coffee mugs aren't just for coffee.
True. So for Diet Coke, according to my wife. Because that's also
Whatever. Look, I'm drinking Zevia ginger root beer. So that's
sweet.
My drink of choice.
Sounds like that's something.
Yeah, it's like 0-calorie root beer. But anyway,
The point
getting
of that.
back to Steve's Red Bubbles. So,
And Board Game Geek, yes.
oh, correct. Hot chocolate. Yes, Nick, that's right. Hot chocolate with some in a coffee mug is nice as well. Especially, it snowed here today. So, have you guys seen snow yet this year?
What's that?
Are you kidding me? I live in Minnesota. We saw snow like in September.
You saw snow in June?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was snow in October easily. I scraped the trampoline, snow off trampolines. So my kids could use it.
Nice.
Now it's nice weather for some reason. I don't understand. But yes, we have seen snow. There's snow here in Minnesota.
Nice. Well, and I feel like it makes sense that Minnesota is like one of the board game capitals of the world. And I say capital because Fantasy Flight is headquartered there. Because, like, what else are you going to do in the wintertime, right? You're not going anywhere.
No. You're not.
You notice San Diego isn't the board game capital of the world. No. Although, for some reason, Florida, because Vassal moved there, became, like, one of the board game capitals. So, Who knows?
Interesting. So you're not a fan of the Board Game Geek webpage, huh, Steve or Peter? Or do you find anything redeeming in it?
No, I like I said, the new releases is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I do like also how they highlight different stuff. So if you scroll down a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
they highlight like a certain publisher each month, or I don't know, and maybe they're paying for it. Like I don't have those details yet, right? If I find out they're paying for it, I will rant about it rather than being happy about it. But for now, when they like are promoting stuff like solo gaming. You saw the all by yourself. You scrolled past that. Like I'm hoping that's not just because we are part of One Stop Co-op Shop and like they've pegged us as solo gamers. I'm hoping they are now showing that to everybody. They had family games as another category. And again, I'm hoping that's not something that's just there all. I'm hoping they change that, like Euro games or whatever else, and party games, and like they cycle through these different things.
Sure.
Right now, I've seen similar stuff each time I've logged on, but I'm hoping that they highlight different categories of game. Like this is the best dungeon crawls. These are the best,
Mm-hmm.
storytelling games. These are the best role playing games. Whatever it is, I hope they cycle through different stuff and we get new things highlighted all the time. Because if not,
I
it'll
even get games recommended to me. That's pretty cool.
and they also always ask you to rate games that you've
Yeah.
either played or own
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But
I'm the worst at I'm the worst at even putting my games on this thing, and I'm the worst. I don't think I've ever logged a play, even though I've played a ton of games. I don't think I've
I
ever
was
logged a
doing it
play.
for a while to keep track, but then I realized
Yeah.
my friends were, and I just look at their recent plays.
That works.
Sure. There you go.
And they're much more accurate than I am as well.
I like my
So,
plays because that way I can figure out what my likes and dislikes are. Like, if I'm going to buy a game, I want to hit the table and I can see what my tendencies are and go off of that. It was useful up front, but now that I've kind of know what my likes and dislikes are right now, it's not as useful, but I still log my plays. So
right.
Sure.
cool. I have one
So, yeah.
other thing to talk about.
Oh, this is the
Okay,
one we've been
let's
saving
do it.
for the
Yeah,
end,
saving
haven't
for the
we?
end.
This is the big
So
one.
this is a giveaway that's going on currently. It's not us at all, but it's Gen Con. So they're doing a 12 days of Gen Con is what they're calling it, kind of a Christmas thing. And so they are, and this is just some of the past giveaways they've been doing. Like here's some fun dragon or some Christmas ornaments. They did this fleece.
Oh, come on.
What?
You guys know I love dragons. What the heck?
Yeah. So
Wait, why did you show what, Steve? Oh, are you kidding me? A big dragon blanket? What?
That's a pretty
It
cool
is.
looking blanket. You should have tried to win that, Peter.
Oh, they got a shirt with a dragon.
So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out.
I'm into my pockets.
This might surprise you, but I'm going to guess a lot of them are dragon themed, considering that
It
it's
is
their
all dragon
logo.
themed, everything, including the dice they had earlier and some other stuff. So I've been watching this a little bit on their Discord, so that's what I recommend finding it. That's why I found these links to it. I haven't seen they're doing one each day, so I haven't seen the new one that's coming up yet, but it should be up soon, I'd imagine. But yeah, go to Gen Con's Discord and check it out if you're interested in some type of giveaway. But I want to make sure you guys knew that this was happening. So
That's awesome, Steve. Thank you very much for sharing that for everybody.
Steve, I hate you.
For reals.
No, you know I'm gonna buy like $7,000 worth of dragon stuff before the end of this 12 days of giveaway,
well,
whatever
hold on.
it is.
So they have a
You
store,
know.
so you can totally buy the stuff. But they're also doing a giveaway from each item in their store. So this is the free giveaway I'm showing. But you can just go buy the stuff.
Totally
in
going
the
to
store.
get something for my wife. I think I like that. I think I like that blanket.
Yeah,
I'm
the
going to get that for
blanket?
my wife. She'll probably, she'll hate me for that. She'll be like,
It's
really?
epic with a giant dragon.
They have giant
Wow.
dragons.
How could this?
Why don't we have giant dragons? All we got is these two little people slapping five. Get out of here. Give me a dragon. Our next one's all right. So I know we just got a new logo and all that stuff. Our next logo is going to have
I
a
would
dragon
be
on
totally
it.
for that.
High-fiving another dragon.
Well, here's what we should do
That'd be funny.
is because we like dragons, of course. We should just make a T-shirt somehow with dragons on it and our logo. We can figure it out. Like one-stop dragon.
I mean,
High-fiving.
we should
We
have
could do
Jon
dragon
Snow and
instead of
Daenerys riding dragons the way the series should have ended, and into the sunset. Two dragons flying into the sunset with riders on them. That's it.
There we
Oh.
go.
Wait. Or we could just have 2 dragons high five instead of the
Boom! There you
meeples.
go. Dragon meeples.
Dragon meeples.
Oh man.
You had your chance, Peter. Should have done that.
Look, you guys think I have any power or say over what happens with the one-stop co-op shop. You guys have barely heard me or knew who I was before this Twitch channel stuff started.
Who's this Peter guy?
I'm just like the voice of the intros and outros of the podcast. Nobody knows who the hell I am. It's fine. Like I'm like the Annie here. Like nobody cares about me. Like I get no respect. But the sun will come out.
It'll come out tomorrow. I
bet your bottom dollar of that.
I didn't know how you were going to tie that in, but I knew you were.
Son. Just look at a blanket that's gray and lonely. All right.
Yeah, Arita wants a new T-shirt with the updated dragon logo. So
yep, updated dragon logo. Give it up.
But we're rebranding again, guys. Let's do it.
There might be some news coming out early next year about something with the dragon, with a game designed by some people you might know.
Yeah, maybe.
So
might be a dragon game. I don't
know. There might be some dragon stuff coming up. I don't know.
Wink, nudge. Yeah, they're totally all on board this high fiving meeple dragons. Yes, we gotta make this happen. So
limited edition. Well, I mean, I feel like everybody was all about my table full of neoprene mats, but nobody got excited by it today. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to.
I was excited, Peter.
Throw it in the trash.
Super excited. I wanted to see a table with 100 mats on it.
It doesn't have 100. It's probably got 10, maybe.
Well, maybe 10. That's why the hype wasn't as big as you're hoping. We're on 100.
That's right.
100.
Hey, look, I exaggerate. Welcome to my world.
Oh, too good.
Cool. Well, that's all we got, I think.
That's it, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
Well, I mean, we do, but... Well, all right, let me mention
you got another rant for us?
I don't have another rant, but Board Game Arena, which is... Look, we're all in COVID times now. We're all, like, locked in. Board Game Arena has... they're doing a, 25 games of Christmas thing, where every day they're releasing a new game. Now, the only one that I've seen of note so far has been Welcome to. Now, Steve's showing the page with just the solo games. But, yeah, they've announced something where they're doing for 25 days, they're going to release 25 new games. Board Game Arena is free if you want it to be. There is a way to pay to get paid content as well. I know, actually, Mike, Jerry, and I are all subscribers because that's pretty much what we play Saturday night. The co-op game we play on there is The Crew a lot. So that comes up every week. We do play a lot of other games, but Steve was just showing the solo page as well. I looked up every game with the solo mode. So I've definitely played Clans of Caledonia on there. I love that game. They do have a solo implementation of that one. That might be premium. You might have to pay for that one. But there's some other cool solo stuff. I mean, there's not much, honestly, for the solo and co-op crowd, but there is some stuff, and they've got a lot of great games. And unlike Tabletopia and all these other things, they're, first of all, not super graphics intensive, so they don't destroy your machine every time you try to play them. There's good stuff that's free out there, and so Board Game Arena has a lot of good stuff. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's COVID times. We want to provide you some free value as well. Well, thanks for joining us